You good?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Atlantic High School, home of Trojan baseball. Tonight's Hawkeye 10 matchup features the Glenwood Rams and your Atlantic Trojans. The umpires tonight are John Leonhardt and Matt Wallace. Now let's meet our starting lineups. For the Rams, catching number 4, Corbin Pelzer. At center field, number 3, Ben Christensen. Shortstop, number 12, Ryan Turner.
When this is done, 4 more acts.
At first base, number 1, Ben Carlo. Your designated hitter, number 13, Charlie Hutchcraft. In left field, number 6, Trey Williamson. Third base, number 2, Brendan Anderson. At second base, number 10, Graham Newberry. In right field, number 8, Pierce Dalton. And pitching, number 11, Miles Stanton. And now for your Atlantic Trojans, pitching number 40, Hudson McLaren. In center field, number 11, Cale Jensen. Catching for the Trojans, number 13, Gavin McLaren. At right field, number 7, Zayden Parker. At third base, number 5, Sawyer Terrell. Your designated hitter this evening, number 15, Grant Petty. In left field, number 1, Tristan Hayes. At shortstop, number 20, Keston Schmitz. At first base, number 10, Jack Mueller.
Stay steady to the national anthem.
And at second base, number 9, Colin Harris. The head coach for Glenwood is Dave Clark. He is assisted by Tom Anderson, Kylie Stanton, and Grant Stivers. The head coaches for Atlantic are Nathan Block and Gaylord Schelling. They are assisted by Bodie Johnson, Darby McLaren, Andy Mitchell, and Josh McLaren. Softball is going through announcing their lineups, and we'll take care of the national anthem when they're concluded with that.
Behind home plate, number 28, Adam Peterson. And number 4, center field, Logan Whaley. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on your feet, for your Atlantic Trojans. At the third base, number 4, the Sloaners. At the shortstop, number 3, Hank McLaren. At the first base, number 14, Zoe Saikon. At left field, number 19, Sandy McLaren. At second base, the senior, one Montana Sarkman. And first base, number 18, Olivia News. Gentlemen,
Okay, this ad will go. We'll come right to the national anthem, but that's fine.
another better. We ask you all to please stand if you are able, gentlemen, remove the hat and join us honoring America with the playing of our national anthem.
And we'll welcome back to the Roman folks. Folks, yeah, just
But it was nice to talk to you about this. Yeah. And everybody, the started on it. Yeah. And the guys are today calling. We're shouting. Tell this puppy.
Junior shortstop, brand new. That's
in myself, I'm a note that I'm here. Waiting guys for in the shade line. Hey, man, it's up. The woman in front of my man behind. I shout out.
what's you think?
Oh, it's hungry.
So you have good depth, pitching.
Leading off for the Rams, number 4, Corbin Pelzer.
He's pitched his 12 starts so far, and 6 1/4 innings for the Trojans. ERA 6.30. First pitch is coming up for him. The Corbin Pelzer is the line to pitch. That's a strike, and he hits the outside corner. Hits McLaren underway here for Atlantic. And Corbin Pelzer at the plate, a right-handed batter for the Rams. Here's the pitch, swung on, and looking the base hit the Pelzer. Lead off the top of the hitter, the Glenwood Rams. So
Base hit by Pelzer brings up number 3, Ben Christensen.
Right between the shortstop and third, and the Rams have a leadoff hitter aboard here at the top of the first inning. Those are right-handed hitter. Just got around on that one at least. Out in the right center field. Pelzer hitting 290 on the season. 290 on the season. Here's Ben Christensen, the left-handed freshman. This guy's had a great year so far at the plate. He has the top batting average in the Hawkeye 10 coming in, hitting 475. He also leads the league in singles. He has 18 singles. He has 18 hits in the season. The top hitter in the league, batting in the second spot. Here's the pitch lefting. High and in. The count is 2 on the film. There's Christensen, just a freshman, only 5 strikeouts. He's walked 7 times, 18 of 38 is this young man at the plate. Pelzer leads at first, throw back over, not in time. 3 balls and no strikes. To Christensen. Started in 12 of 13 games so far. That pitch in there for a ball, a 3-0. Runner at first is Pelzer. Christensen to play. Here's the pitch. Inside. Well, there's a strike on the inside edge. Nice shot. Ryan Hudson McLaren. Christensen back in. Ryan Turner on deck to run here at the top of the first inning. 1 on, another down. When the stretch, McLaren. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Out goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Christensen. Good pitch by McLaren. He got that fastball high and in. Right there in the zone, that inside edge. He's been working that inside edge against Christensen. Right against lefty. Here's the pitch. Swung on, sliced down the left side, and foul. Now the count is pulled at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here we get that ball. Christensen leads the league in hitting 475 and touching 18. On base percentage of 556. He's third in the league. Here's the pitch. Rolling in ball here. Now the Rams put
Christensen walks and brings up number 12, Ryan Turner.
Pelzer goes down to second base, and Christensen with the walk. That'll bring up Ryan Turner. Ryan Turner coming in. Here we go. There's at first and second, nobody there. Turner at the plate. The pitch. Turner squares the bunt. Attack the pitcher. It's not in time. It's off the ball. It's on the glove and snap.
Successful bunt by Turner brings up number 1, Ben Carlo.
Turner fielder's choice there as Hudson decided to go to third base and try to get the lead run there. And out of base of Jeff and Brevin here at the top of the first. Ben Carlo at the plate on the left-handed hitter for Glenwood, hitting 308. He had a big hit of that extra inning game with Atlantic was at here in May 25 and back the other inning far beyond for the Rams in that contest. And here we go. Bases loaded, nobody down. Here's the pitch. Low in for a ball. Well, left-hand hitter, the 308, as I mentioned, 241 on base percentage, 3-5 slugging percentage, 12 of 39 on the season. Here's the pitch. Oh, hot shot. Quickly, Parker score. Pounding third is Christensen. Cross home plate. 2 runs in. A 2-RBI single for Carlo. And Ryan.
Base hit by Carlo scores 2, brings up number 13, Charlie Hutchcraft.
Went right up to the center, and now 2 are in. 2-0 Glenwood. Top of the first inning. Pelzer scores. Christensen scores. Turner hustles around the corner to third, and Carlo at first. He picks up his 13th hit of the season. His 10th single. He had 2 doubles. Now 10 RBI with those 2 runs batted in. Here's Charlie Hutchcraft, the DH, hitting for Williamson. Another left-handed hitter for Glenwood. He's a strike outside edge. Good pitch, guys. Hudson to pull it. Corbin the Pelzer single. Went to second and Christensen walk. Turning with the bunt, fielder's choice. Everybody's safe. Bases loaded. And then Carlo placed a 2 RBI single. It's hits. That's cool. Unload the base at once. Carlo goes to second.
Hutchcraft hit by a pitch. Bring up number 2, Brennan Anderson.
Second, Hutchcraft for the first. Nobody down. Big inning here for Glenwood at the top of the first inning. Fletcher Toft is running our video here tonight. Glad to have him along here. And high school senior, Fletcher. He'll be a senior and quite popular among you folks here, by the way. Great to have Fletcher along. Coach Shelling is going to make his way out to the hill and talk with Hudson McLaren. The Rams have batted 5. They've scored 2. And the base are loaded here at the top of the first inning. Still nobody down. Belzer got a single, Wishes in a walk. And then Ryan Turner bunted. Fielder's choice. They went to third. And everybody's safe there. And then Ben Carlos stepped off with a cleanup hitter. And he drilled a 2 RBI single. Put the Rams up 2-0. In the meantime, Charlie Hutchcraft hit by a pitch. The bases are loaded again. And out comes Coach Block. Talking to Coach Shelling with Valor Line. So third base is Turner. Carlo at second. Hutchcraft is at first after being hit by a pitch. And we've got a delay here as both coaches are out. And we've got a new pitcher. It's going to be Grant Petty. So Petty's been a pitcher for Trojans. He was a DH originally. And so just like that, McLaren is retired and Grant Petty will take the hill for Trojans here in the top of the first inning. Well, it didn't take long for the Rams. And so Petty will get a chance to throw here in the top of the first inning. Credit to Glenwood. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits so far. A walk and a hit from that. Petty a right-hander. He'll face Brennan Anderson, the 6 hitter in the lineup, and then Graham Newberry and Frank Dalton, 6, 7, 8. In the top of the first inning. Trojans have Tristan Hazen left, Johnson at center, Aiden Parker in right field, and Casper Schmidt at third, Merrill at short, Alan Harris at second, Muller at third. We'll see if they find a spot for Hudson McLaren at the infield. Patty continues to warm up. We're going to take a timeout. We're back in 30 at 95.7 FM on our live video stream, westerniowa.com.
Stein delivers more new genetics faster. Our focus on delivering higher yielding genetics faster than the competition is why we have released more new Enlist E3 lines in the past 5 years than any other seed company. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. 45 years of yield. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Get ready for a fresh start at Greg Young Atlantic. Our Greg Young Fresh Start program helps you hit the road with confidence, overcome credit challenges with personalized financing, and a wide selection of great vehicles. Visit us today to find your brand new Chevy, GMC, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram, or check out our huge pre-owned selection at GregYoungAtlantic.com and GregYoungCDJRAtlantic.com. And to apply. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Here at Greg Young, we go the extra mile for you.
Welcome back to Atlantic. Grant Petty pitching in relief for the Trojans. Hill here at the top of the first inning. Rams have the bases loaded. Nobody down. 2 in the top half of the frame. And Petty will take over Hudson McLaren. Let's see where.
Number 15, Grant Petty into pitch. McLaren to third base.
For the Trojans. So the batter is going to be number 2, Van Anderson. Bases are loaded. Turner at third, Carlo at second, and that's Hutchcraft at first. 2-0 Rams, and we're ready to open things wide open there. The bases loaded. Nobody hit them. Crowd at first inning. So defensively, McLaren goes to third. I believe Terrell stays at short. We have to get verification on that. Harris at second. Muller at first later. Grant Petty in the circle on the hill for the Trojans. Now we're going to get back going again after the pitching change. The top of the first inning. Petty will work out the stretch and play. Anderson straight away. Bases loaded. Turner at third base. Here's the pitch. Fastball to strike on the outside edge of the unity. For Grant Petty, the count is 0-1. Also in Christensen scoring for Glenwood here at the top of the first inning. And the pitch on the way, outside for the ball. The count goes to 1-1. The outfield Will Tetro is sort of close to Mason left. Aiden Parker playing in right field. Her game's tonight in the Hawkeye 10. For the slate here on this Thursday night. That'll be an Atlantic. Autumn hosting Genesis last week. Champaign. Really think the rest of the pitch. You're going to miss. And Grant Petty looks at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Anderson. Colin playing well through the season. We're right up there with Lewis Central. And the drive is short. Gets through the hole. 2 more runs will score. Here comes Turner. Here comes Carlo. And the Rams up 4-0. As Glenn Anderson
Base hit by Anderson scores 2 more, brings up number 10, Graham Newberry.
crosses, then Carlo is home. It was a 4-0 game. Glenwood with the lead and runners at the corners. Here in the top of the first inning, Newberry. The seventh hit of the hit for the Rams steps in. Rams with 4 runs on 3 hits. A 2 RBI single by Carlo, and Anderson with a 3 base knock. 2 RBI base knock. Right-handed hitter, top of the first inning, 4-0. Glenwood with the lead. Petty brings the pitch. Fastball low and away. The count is 1-0. Newberry, the right-handed hitter, hitting 188 on the season. Rams hitting 248 as a squad. Petty on the stretch. Here's the pitch. Strike called. Followed by Brad McClaren, and Anderson gets a stolen down. Now first base open for Glenwood here at the top of the first inning. Newberry, 188 hitter. 6 of 32 of the year. Anderson, who just drilled that 2 RBI single, hitting 161. That pitch is swung on and fouled back. So Anderson with a really badly needed hit. He got it. Wasn't timely yet. Aaron Anderson, he picks up his 5th and 6th RBI of the season. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Newberry. Still nobody down for Glenwood. Runners at the corners. Here's the pitch, low and in. Now the count is even 2-2. Oh, here's Dalton with the 8th hitter. He's on deck. And Miles Stanton more than likely getting a chance to hit here. That'd be the 9th in the lineup. Here's the pitch, high for a ball. 3-2 the count. First base is open for Glenwood. We've already had the bases loaded twice and 2 timely hits, Anderson and Carlo. Here's the pitch, way outside, ball 4.
Snapping up to the plate, number 8, here's Dalton.
It's a grand slam. And a forced play everywhere. And boy, we're left. The flag needs a force. They need out. Bases loaded, nobody down. The Rams up 4-0. In the top of the first inning, Dalton, the 8th hit in the lineup, will step in. Top of the first inning. And with 2 wins this season, running with 1. Dalton had to check his card, I believe, to see what coach wants him to do here at the plate. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch, but right back where it came from. They got the runner rundown. Well, here's grab the hit score. They rifled the ball down to third. He got away and shut off. Now it is a 5-0 Glenwood lead on the air by the Trojans. And runners at first and second. Anderson stayed at second base and run down Newberry at first. Dalton, your hitter, 0-1 the count. Nobody down. The stretch, the pitch. Curveball is swung on and missed. It's hitting on 1. And the count is 0-2 as Grant works ahead of sophomore right-hander. Miles Stanton on back to the top of the first inning. A big inning for Glenwood. Up 5-0. That pitch gets away. Running from third is the third is Anderson. He's starting the base. He has 2 of those here in this half inning. Newberry stays at first. Runners the corners with nobody down. Top of the first. 5-0 Glenwood with the lead. Telson, Christensen, Turner, Carlo. Touchdown, all scoring for the Rams. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming in, swung on and fouled off. Alden stays alive. Here's Dalton, right-handed batter, with 250 on the season. Dalton, his 8 at bats are coming in. It's 2 of 8. He scored a run. Both hits are single. A young team. Junior, freshman, senior, Ryan Turner. Only senior was starting running for Glenwood. 1-2 pitch outside for a ball. Ball goes out of second base. The throw not in time. They'll throw it home, and we've got a collision home play. Anderson is going to score, and so McClaren took the throw in, and that's a 6-run score for Glenwood. Newberry on to second base. 6-0 Rams. Top of the first. Still nobody down. First, Dalton the batter. Outstanding on deck and road hitter at play. So all of the 6 hitters have scored. Newberry at second. One on and nobody down. 6 in for the Ram. The pitch. Swung on, hit the right center. The extra base for Dalton. Then, and here comes the Newberry. It's a fucking Ram lead.
Double by Dalton, scores 1, brings up number 11, Miles Stanton.
For Glenwood, he's at second base. 7-0 Rams, 1 on and nobody down, and Stanton is 9th hitter to appear in the lineup, still nobody out for Glenwood. They scored 7 runs here in the frame of 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Brad Petty pitching in relief for the Trojans. The pitch. Fastball high, now down. Now Stanton on the hill when Glenwood heads out. He's hitting 222 in the year. He's 8 of 36 at the plate. Right-handed batter looks in outside, and that's on corner strike. 1-1 to count. The stay. Corbin and Calzer started this whole thing off. He's on deck for Glenwood. I think we had a simmering score here in the same inning. So blooper down the right side is found. The count goes to 1-2. And then we'll get their 10th batter up. That'll be Corbin Calzer back to lead off. Get and stand at the plate for Glenwood. The 9th hitter. And Rams at the 7-0. Calzer single. This is a walk. Corner base can field his charge. Ben Carlo 2 RBI single. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And Grant Petty gets a strikeout. The first out of the inning.
Strikeout by Petty. We're back to the top of the order. Number 4, Corbin Pelzer.
Hitting 290 coming in. Leading hitter in this team there. Yeah. This Christensen hitting well over almost 500. There's the pitch. Fastball to strike. Good pitch by Grant Petty. And on 1. Corbin Pelzer single and scored. Here in this inning, it's 7-0 Glenwood. 1 on and 1 out. 7 in. Petty out of stretch for Atlantic. Kick fires way outside. Now it gets away, and here comes Dalton from second to third. Don't have an RBI double. He goes to third. The count is 1-1 strike to Corbin Pelzer. Miles had struck out the first out of the inning, probably at number 9. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, hit Tracy. Ran. Here's Dalton.
Pelzer with another base hit. Scores Stanton, brings up number 3, Ben Christensen.
Single. And Ben Christensen with a batter. Now 474 hitter walked his first time up and scored on Ben Carlos 2 RBI single. Turner and Carlos scored on Brennan Anderson's 2 RBI single. Dalton has an RBI double. This strike right outside edge. 1 on, 1 out. 8 in. Ben Christensen, the left-handed freshman, to plate for the Rams. Marathon inning for Glenwood. Petty throws in the first baseman. As it's in the 11th field to bat, the Glenwood here at the top of the first inning. Petty out of the stretch. And the other one pitch on the way. High ball down. Running on the count. You look at Christensen this season hitting 474 at 556 on base speed. Slugging 474. He has 18 singles on the year. Here's a pitch. There's a strike. There's 1-2 to Christensen. Ryan Turner on deck. He's making Ram first throw to the top of the first inning. They broke this thing open. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, tap of the third. Led by McClure, fires the gets 1. Go back on the first, not in time. And McClure with nice 200. And will throw out.
Force out at second.
Second base.
Christensen gets single. Brings up number 12, Ryan Turner.
First to the left fielder's choice. Turner the batter. Nobody on and 2 down now for the Rams. 8 in for Glenwood. Ryan Turner reached the fielder's choice and scored on Anderson's 2 RBI single back in this clean hitting. 8-0 Rams, 1 and 2 down. Petty in the hill for Atlantic. Solid move the pitch coming in. Swing on, slice foul, right side. Ryan Turner, wide-handed hitter. for the Glenwood Rams. Turner getting absolutely and slugging percentage 605. The Hawkeye jam. There's a ground ball stabbed by McLaren. That's going to be an infield hit. Great play by McLaren to keep it from going out in the outfield, but Turner. And with a close now, Christensen goes on to second base.
Base hit by Turner brings up number 1, Ben Carlo.
Right it away here at the top of the first inning. 2 on and 2 down and 8 in. 8 nothing. And the ball left-handed batter steps in. He had an RBI single back in the fourth. Ready out of the stretch with Trojan. Then Christensen at second. Fastball to Strauch outside corner. Down to 4-1. Follow hitting 308 this season. Second best. Or third best, rather. Turner had the second best out at 342. That pitch has popped up and out of play. And it got us 1 ball and 2 strikes. Inning for Glenwood. 13 hitter to appear. It's been Carlo. Top of the first. Softball game. It's Glenwood leading 1-0. Early on. There's the pitch. There's a line drive to shortstop. Carroll has it. Fires the second. Gets the out there. And he forced out Carroll at second base. And 6-4. And the Trojans finally get out of the inning. Here in the top of the first, Glenwood scoring 8 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. 1 Trojan error. You go to the bottom half of the first, Atlantic has to look through. Get back right after losing 95.7. Live video stream. WesternIdahoToday.com, powered by Michigan.
At Oak Point Wealth Management, we're embracing new changes to better serve you. As an independent wealth manager, I'm excited to partner with LPL Financial, bringing you comprehensive tools and resources backed by personalized service and dynamic technology. My focus remains on helping you achieve your financial goals with integrity and care. Visit oakpointwealth.com or call me, Erin Friend, at 712-207-3521 to learn more.
Visit www.oakpointwealth.com, 712-207-3521 to learn more about how Oak Point Wealth Management can help you pursue your financial goals.
Atlantic Ag and Auto, your locally owned CarQuest Auto Parts store, is seeking help to fill a part-time or possibly full-time position. While experience in retail parts is preferred, it is not a deal breaker. The ideal candidate should have entry-level computer skills and be comfortable working with the public and having some fun while doing it. If you have excellent customer service skills, a valid driver's license, and a history of reliability, we would like to hear from you. Atlantic Ag and Auto is an equal opportunity employer located at 716 West 7th Street here in Atlantic.
It's a big run for the Rams. The top of the first, scoring 8 runs on 6 hits. Long, 10, 11, 12, 13. The plates. The Trojans actually hit to the reach. The line right through. It's in the player to lead off for the bottom half of his field. It's there a lot head of that with Smile Stadium. 504 for the Rams. And McLean gets the sign. Here's the pitch on the way. He swung on a tapper foul left side. And the stat takes a hand. Norman Pelzer, the catcher. Ryan Turner at third. Brennan Anderson second. Graham Newberry. Anderson short. Newberry at second. And Carlo at third. 0-1. Swung on, hit deep. Left field, over comes Williamson, back, and it is on, I believe, out in center field by Ben Christensen. And waiting for the signal, I believe it was. We haven't seen anything yet. So the catch is made by Christensen, had a basket catch. He did a number of to get out there.
The ball is caught. Brings up number 11, Cale Jensen.
It looked like Williamson might have it, and then eventually Christian to the back of the warning track, got a basket catch going down to his knees, made the catch with one out, but Hudson gave that a wide and deep center. One out, here's Cale Jensen. He'll look for a high, shallow left center, now center field. That may drop in, and it does, a base hit for Cale Jensen. Well, they had a lot of air underneath it.
Jensen with a base hit brings up number 13, Gavin McLaren.
McLaren will stand in, so Hudson flies out. Cale Jensen, a bloop single to the center field. Looked like the center fielder Christians had time to get underneath it. But he had to come a long way from center field. And Bill Jensen got the hit for the Trojans. 1 on and 1 out, 8-0 Rams from the bottom half of the 1st inning. Gavin McLaren to the plate for the Trojans. The pitch. Hit him.
McLaren hit by the pitch.
Strong right there, Fletcher.
Yeah.
Brings up number 7, Zayden Parker.
Pretty hard to get clear. So that. Runners at first and second for the Trojans. So we're getting some base runners here. They need a lot of them. They're down 8-0. You're in the bottom half of 3rd. And Zayden Parker, the right fielder, will step in. Gavin hitting 292. That draws walk number 7 this season. The pitch on the way. Swing. Next. Count on 1 is 8. Walker hitting the 4th hole. McLaren threw out the deep center field. Neil Jensen with a single. He's at second. Gavin with a walk. He's at first. 0-1 pitch by Stat. Swung on and missed. Third ball to the outside. 0-2. The count here in the bottom half of the 1st inning. Hanson 13 to play in the top half of this frame. He's got 8 runs and 7 hits. 0-2 the count to Parker. Here's the pitch outside, 1-2. Gains the lead by 12. Jasmine at second base. They weren't really paying attention to him. Let's see if how late he gets in. That is at first and second. 1 out for 90. Bottom half of the 1st inning. The stretch is Stanton. There's the pitch. Swing in a minute. Well, they dropped 3rd strike, so Stan gets a strikeout, but they're not reporting out. And the Trojans have the bases loaded here in the bottom half of the 1st inning. McLaren down to second base. Will Jensen 3rd. Down McLaren to second. Zayden Parker struck out for the drop. 3rd strike puts him at first. Batter's going to be Sawyer Terrell for the Trojans. That'll be run for. So
number 2, Carter Hadley running for McLaren. At bat, number 5, Sawyer Terrell.
Down for the Trojans as Parker strikes out. And McLaren flies out. And Sanders gets through. Gail Jensen single is a 3rd. Now McLaren walk and Hadley running for him. Terrell at the plate, the 2 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on a chop of the 3rd. Saved by Turner. Rockets the throw to the spin play.
I'll bring the end of the 1st inning through 1 complete inning. It's 8-0 Glenwood.
They got a hit. No errors. Oh.
Hey there, this is Tanner from your Atlantic IV, and I've got some exciting news to share. Thanks to your feedback, we're currently rated the friendliest Hy-Vee in the entire company. That's a huge honor. On behalf of the whole team, thank you to everyone who's taken time to share their thoughts. Did you know you can leave feedback too? Just check the link on the bottom of your Hy-Vee receipt or in your email after a purchase. Whether it's a compliment or constructive criticism, I love reading our surveys and making sure we're always improving. And as always, thank you for shopping your Atlantic Hy-Vee.
When you're on the go, it's all about convenience. Add fantastic food, beverages, plus BP superior fuels, and you have Olson's BP in Atlantic. From sunup to sundown, we're the keep you going store. From our loaded breakfast burritos and Bunker Dunker donuts to our delicious Champs chicken and pizza to go, we have the food you crave. Don't forget the cold beer in the beer cave. Stop in and fill her up. There's always something you need at Olson's BP, the keep you going store, 2nd and Locust in Atlantic.
Just watch.
Leading off for the Rams, number 13, Charlie Hutchcraft.
We're back as the Trojans trailing 8-0. Go to the top of the 2nd. Rams with big lead. They scored 8 runs into 7 hits. 13 hits to points. Batters Charlie Hutchcraft, the 5th into the lineup for the sophomore DH, hit by a pitch in that 1st inning and scores. Left-handed hitter Grant Petty on the hill. The sophomore fires outside. The count is 1-1. 5, 6, and 7 after Glenwood is the top of the second inning. And Pelter had 2 hits in that frame. For leadoff right here. Carlo had a 2 RBI single. Anderson 2 RBI single. Chris Dalton had an RBI double. And Ryan Turner had a single as well. Reach outside, 2 balls and strike. The Hunt's trying. And in the second. Top ball game. Glenwood with a 1-0 lead. They scored a run the first. And got him the second. 2-1 pitch outside. 3-1 to count. Ollie Hutchcraft. Wide headed hitter for Glenwood. He's batting 179 coming in. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Hitter's count for Hutchcraft. Here it is. Strike call. Beautiful. Grant Petty, on Broadway. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anderson on bat with a 4 RBI single back in the 8-run first inning. Petty wings it. Clearing an advance to Grant Petty. This ticked it foul. I'm going to tell you like that. Just took foul by Hutchcraft. It stays alive. Good pitch by Grant right to the inside corner of the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ready, set, kick, fires, outside, ball 4. Hutchcraft draws a walk as he falls.
Hutchcraft walks, brings up number 2, Brendan Anderson.
And here comes Brendan Anderson. Adds up 8-0 during the top of the second. All 8 coming in that first inning. Runs and 7 hits. Anderson had a 2 RBI single, RBI number 5 and 6 for the junior shortstop. Graham Newberry on down. He's a 7-6 win for Glenwood back on May 29th in the 8th inning. Carlo had an RBI to lead the Rams. Here's the pitch stop. That's striking at center time. Let's take the look ready for Trojan. Any relief pitchers for Atlantic, pitching for His McCormick started the game. Roughed up by the Rams. Here's the pitch coming. Wide for the ball. 2 balls and a strike. Here in the second inning, Brandon Anderson, the pitcher for Glenwood. Runner first is Hutchcraft. Here's the pitch. Swing on, tapper foul. 1-2. Anderson. Blueberries will walk, and who scored in that first inning? First 8 batters all across the plate. Tells are pushing. Turner, Carlin, Hutchcraft, Anderson, Newberry, Dalton. All crossing the plate. 1-2. Inside, some chin music for Anderson. Just lean back on the board. 2-2 the count. Hutchcraft at first base, top of the second. 8-0 Rams. Here's the pitch coming. Fastball called to strike 3. That's pitch by Grant Petty.
And he strikes out Anderson, brings up number 10, Graham Newberry.
Graham Newberry will stand in. He walked and scored. He had stolen base in the first inning. Here's Dalton had the RBI double on back. Newberry rod-headed batters. For the Rams will step in. He throws back over to first base. Let's grab back easily. For Glenwood. Fell short on Tuesday, crept in 12-4, but before that,
they had lost by an average of 2.9 runs per game. They'd been in every game. Wild pitch sends Hutchcraft to second base. And the count is Graham Newberry at the plate. The pitch, outside for a ball. 1 on and 1 out. We're at the top of the second. 8-0 Glenwood with the lead. Newberry at the plate. McLaren on the hill. Here's the pitch. Inside. Gets away again. And scooting to third is Hutchcraft. Now he's 90 feet away. With only 1 out here at the top of the second inning. Grant Petty pitching in relief. Petty 0-2 in the year. Pitches 5 innings coming into this game. And he'd had an ERA, I believe, of 2.8. Walks that batter. Newberry draws the walk. Now 2 on and 1 out here in the second. Pierce Dalton, the batter, the 8th hitter of the lineup. RBI doubled back in that first inning, 8-0 Rams with runners at first and third, and one out here at the top of the second inning. Miles Stanton on deck for Glenwood. Again, Pierce Dalton looks at the signs in his back pocket, puts it back in. Runner at third is Hutchcraft. Newberry at first. We'll see if Newberry gets on his horse here. Here's a pitch. Fastball to strike. Count 0-1. 2 on, 1 out. Top of the second, 8-0 Rams. Dalton and Stanton on deck. Here's Dalton, the 8th hitter in the lineup. Stands back in, a righty against righty here. 0-1 pitch coming up. Newberry leads at first. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. To the right-hand hitting Dalton. First Dalton, the right-handed batter. Hitting .250 coming in, and he picked up his first 2-bagger of the year. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. Throw to third. The tag, and did he get him? I don't see the signal yet. Yeah, they did. Nice throw down by Gavin McLaren. So they got Hutchcraft at third base. McLaren rifled it down to third. And there's 2 down just like that with a runner at first base. Big out for the Trojans. Dalton still at the plate with Newberry at first. 8-0 Rams with a lead. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on and fly ball to right. Parker back, running back to the plate, makes the catch, heading towards the fence. Nice catch by Parker as Pierce Dalton gave it a ride to right field. And that'll be it for Glenwood. No runs, no hits, and no errors. They left 1.
At Seed Pros, our mission is to be your business partner every day of every season.
Pioneer Hybrid International was founded in Iowa back in 1926 and is still American today. Not many other seed providers can make that claim.
We partner with you to continually push the limits by combining elite seed genetics, local infield knowledge, along with customer service second to none.
We are with you from the word go. Contact Mark Van Tiger, Gary Dinkla, Nick Knudsen, or John Becker to partner with a team that puts your business needs first.
At Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We've been dedicated to our communities for over 35 years. From real estate and ag loans to personal and commercial banking, we offer a full range of financial services tailored to meet your needs. We believe in giving back and being involved in the communities we serve. Stop into one of our 12 convenient locations or visit us at rollinghillsbank.com.
Staying active is part of your future plans. Call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics.
Welcome back to Atlantic. We go the bottom half of the second inning. It's a 8-0 lead for Glenwood over the Trojans. He sent 13 batters to the plate at the top of the
Leading
first.
off for the Trojans, number 15.
8 runs on 7 hits. Trojans come to the plate here in the bottom half of the second. They had 5 at the plate of the first inning. Couldn't get anybody across. Left a pair. They had 1 hit. That was Cale Jensen's single. Stanton, the pitcher, here it is. Strike inside edge. Grant Petty at the plate. Count is 1-0 to Petty here in the bottom half of the second inning. Petty, a right-hander against righty Miles Stanton. Here's the pitch. Outside edge of the plate. Strike 2. Beauty. Check that 1 ball and 1 strike. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch coming in. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Boy, Stanton with a wicked curve. Fell off the table. His second strikeouts. Nobody on and 1 out for Atlantic in the bottom half of the second inning. Here comes Schmidt.
Number 20.
Keston Schmidt will stand in, the third baseman. He started third anyway. Hudson McLaren went there after being relieved on the hill. Pitch to Schmidt. Fastball to strike. Count 0-1. Jack Mueller on deck for Atlantic. They're getting a first look at Stanton on the hill. Keston Schmidt, a right-handed batter. Here's the 0-1. Fastball just missed low. The count is 1 ball to 1 strike to Schmidt, hitting 167. 2 of 12 coming into this evening's game. Miles Stanton on the hill. Signed the pitch. Swung on a tapper right in front of the plate. Here's the throw by Pelzer to first. They get him. A 2-3. Pelzer just took his time. He didn't panic. Picked it up with his bare hand and gunned it down to first. Carla with a squeeze and 2 up and 2 down for Atlantic here in the bottom half of the second. Jack Muller at the plate. The junior first baseman for the Trojans. 8-0. Rams on top for the Trojan side of the second. Here in Atlantic is Stanton clicking right along. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball's high and away. Count is 1-0. Jack Muller, right-handed batter for the Trojans, a junior. Muller hitting 083 on the year. 1-0 pitch in the dirt. 2-0 the count to Muller, and then Colin Harris on deck for Atlantic. He's an ninth hitter of the lineup, then back to the top if they can get Muller and Harris aboard. But there's 2 down for the Trojans here in the bottom half of the second. The pitch. Swung on down the third base side. Coach Block nabs it for the Trojans. Atlantic head coaches Nathan Block and Gaylord Schelling. Assistant coach Bodie Johnson. 2-1 the count to Muller. Stanton brings it. High and in. Now a hitter's count for Jack Muller, the junior. 3 balls and a strike. Colin Harris on deck for the Trojans, I believe. They really made a shake-up there. McClure was relieved in the first inning. That pitch is swung on and missed the count 3-2. It might have been out of the strike zone, low and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jack. 8th hitter of the Trojan lineup. Atlantic 1 hit. No runs yet. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Stanton, 2 strikeouts in the frame and sends Atlantic down in order. 1, 2, 3. 8-0. Rams with the lead. We're back after this, so 1 minute timeout on 95.7 FM and our live videos.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business, from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
First Winnie Bank is the longest-standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Winnie Bank, the only bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
There. Welcome back to Atlantic. Petty wraps up his warm-ups. We go to the top of the third. Glenwood up 8-0. 8 runs and 7 hits, all coming in that first inning. Atlantic no runs on 1 hit.
Leading off for the Rams,
Cale Jensen with a
Miles
single for the
Stanton.
Trojans, and they've hit 8 so far against Stanton. So here we go, the top of the third. And leading off is Miles Stanton, the pitcher for Glenwood. The 9th hitter of the lineup. Rams up by 8 runs, 8-0. Grant Petty the sign. Here's the pitch by the sophomore. High for a ball. The count is 1-0 to Miles Stanton, who's pitching right along for Glenwood. Righty against righty. Here's the pitch coming. Swung off the handle, popped up. Looks like Harris at second base will make the grab for the Trojans.
Stanton pops out. Second, bringing up number
2 down.
Corbin Pelzer.
Corbin Pelzer will stand in. So a pop up for Stanton to second. Corbin and Pelzer 2 for 2, and both those hits came in the first inning. 1 an RBI. The pitch. Fastball strike at the knees. Good shot by Petty. Grant Petty recording his second strikeout. The pitch inside for ball. 1-1 the count to Corbin Pelzer. Pelzer started the game hitting .290, and he's 2 for 2 already here in this one. He's 11 of 33 on the year. Fastball high. 2 balls and a strike. Corbin Pelzer, 5 RBI coming in. He has 6 now with an RBI in the first inning. The pitch swung on. That one's hit high to center field. Cale Jensen is there, makes the glove. 2 up and 2 down for Glenwood here in the top of the third inning.
Number 3, Ben Christensen.
Ben Christensen, the super freshman, stands in. He walked in that first inning, and then a fielder's choice, the league leading hitter. Ben, a freshman, hitting .474 coming to the ball game tonight. Had 18 singles, all singles on the year. Left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Fastball is low and away. The count is 1-0. Christensen has started in 12 of the 13 games. So far this year, he has 40 at-bats. The pitch outside for a ball. 2-0 the count. Grant Petty not throwing him anything good down the middle. Christensen, 18 singles. He has 4 RBI. 1 sacrifice bunt, 2-0 pitch. That one swung on and tipped foul. 2 balls and a strike. 38 at-bats. He scored 7 times. 18 hits, all singles. 4 RBI, 1 sacrifice. He's walked 7 times, now 8 times with that walk here tonight. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball for a strike. Count is 2-2 with nobody on it. 2 down for Glenwood here in the top of the third. 8-0 Rams with the lead. Good softball game going on. 2-2 there. Here's the pitch. Swung on and ripped foul left side. Christensen going with that outside pitch from left side of the plate. That's what coaches like to see. An outside pitch. He went the opposite direction. We'll see if he gets around and pulls here. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. Here's the pitch on the way from Petty to Christensen. High and away. Full count, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the freshman. As mentioned, only 1 senior in the starting lineup. That's Ryan Turner. And he's on deck. 3-2 pitch outside for ball, and Christensen walks again.
Christensen walks.
Been on base all 3 times. He's walked twice and reached to the fielder's choice. Here comes Ryan Turner with 1 on and 2 down. 8-0 Rams with the top of the third. Ryan Turner will step in, the right-hand hitting senior. Turner hitting .342 coming in. Patty will work out of the stretch. Christensen at first for the Rams. Top of the third inning. The pitch. That's a strike outside edge. Nice shot by Grant Petty. On deck is Ben Carlo. He's got a 2 RBI single. Pitch. Strike call to the letters. Nice pitch by Grant Petty. 0-2. Trojans trying to get out of the inning with 1 on and 2 down. 8-0 Rams from the top of the third. Petty the stretch. The pitch. Swung on a tapper down the third baseline. Foul. Count remains 0-2. We're live video stream on westerniowatoday.com, TV, and YouTube. Fletcher Toft behind the camera. Going to be a senior at Atlantic High School. Glad to have you along, Fletcher. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and fouled straight back. And Christensen was going. He'll have to come back as Turner hangs in there for the Rams in the top of the third inning. Ryan Turner, 8 RBI coming in. He's stands to the right side. 0-2 pitch with 2 down. Swing and a miss. And Petty gets the strikeout. And that'll be it for the Rams after that 8-1 landslide of the first inning. Petty's been able to shoot down the Rams in the second and the third. We go to the bottom of the third. Glenwood 8, Atlantic nothing. We're back right after these at 95.7 FM and our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com TV, powered by Dish to Net.
Have you ever heard the saying, people spend their life building wealth and neglecting their health, only to wish they could trade their wealth for better health at the end? This is Dr. Fritz Beyer, and it has now been over 30 years since my first chiropractic adjustment. I still get asked, do you get adjusted? Absolutely. I try to get adjusted at least once a month. I'm 47 now and still try to stay as active as ever. While I do get a few more aches and pains than when I was younger, it feels great to be able to step on the mat and help kids learning to wrestle. Chiropractic has helped me feel young enough to do it. If staying active is part of your future plans, call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics.
At 2nd Street Auto, it's our mission to get you back on the road fast. And it all starts with free local towing. Want your back at the shop? We talk you through your car repair with a free and fair estimate. We do everything in-house so you know who's working on your car. Our Hercules tires come with free road hazard repair, free rotation for the life of the tires, and a free alignment check. And nobody can beat our transmission rebuild and repair experts. Brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, preventative maintenance, and
Trojans with Colin Harris. Now check that. I don't believe it's going to be Colin. Looks like Corbin Ritter would be batting here in the bottom half of the third. The pitch to Ritter coming in inside for a ball. Corbin hitting 143 in the year, 1 for 7. He's played in 8 of the 10 games. Here's the pitch, high and in. Good eye by Ritter. 2-0 the count. 8-0 Rams, all 8 coming the first. He had 13 hitters to plate. They scored 8 runs and 7 hits. 2-0. Swung on a chopper foul third base side. Coach Block with a good hand. That's the second clean play he's made in the coach's box. As we mentioned, coming in here, a good slate of Hawkeye 10 games. Glenwood at Atlantic here. Dennis and Slesby at Harlan. The pitch, chopper, third, scoop, Turner, guns it, gets the out. Shannon Clarendon and Red Oak is at Creston. So Ritter
Stepping up to the plate,
grounds
40,
out.
Hudson McLaren.
And Hudson McLaren will stand in. A 5-3, second assist by the third baseman, Ryan Turner. Back to top of the order, Hudson sent one deep into center field. It was right in dead center, right against the wall. And Christensen made the catch. A pitch to Hudson's a strike, curve hits the outside corner, 0-1. We'll see if we can get that type of contact here. Christensen played him good. He was playing him deep anyway. The pitch to Hudson, low for a ball, 1-1 the count. Right-handed batter is Hudson McLaren, all conference honorable mention a year ago for the Trojans. A junior. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way, outside ball. 2 balls and 1 strike to Hudson. Getting 258 coming in. 8 singles. 2 balls and a strike. Bottom half of the third, 8-0 Rams. The pitch, swing and a miss, and the count goes even at 2-2. Hudson struck out 9 times this year. He's walked 4. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on, and Hudson stays alive with a foul ball straight back. The juniors started in 9 of the 10 games. The one he didn't start in, he was playing in the state golf tournament. I think finished 9th this season in that tourney. Here's the 2-2 pitch by Stanton. Swing and a miss, and Stanton gets another strikeout. He's pitched a good outing. He's allowed no runs on 1 hit so far in 2 1/3.
Cale Jensen.
Jensen will stand in, the only hit for the Trojans here in the game. We're the bottom of the third inning, 8-0 Rams. Cale Jensen, a junior, right-handed hitter, singled his first time up. We'll see if he can tag one again. The pitch, inside for a ball. They called that a strike, excuse me. Count 0-1. Gavin McLaren is on deck. He walked and was left. Jensen and Gavin McLaren both got on base in the first inning and were left standing. Curveball outside. The count is 1-1. Here in the bottom half of the third, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody on it, 2 down for Atlantic, 8-0 Rams. Here's Stanton. Here's the pitch. Swung on, now 1 hit to left. Base hit. Jensen 2 for 2 as he drills that into left field is Williamson with a room service 1 hop and gets it in the infield.
13, Gavin McLaren.
So Gavin McLaren will step in as Jensen with the hit to left for the Trojans. And Cale picks up his 10th hit of the season for the Trojans. His 5th single of the season. He has 4 doubles and 1 3-bagger. He's center fielder for Atlantic. He's a good addition, a transfer from Lincoln Pius the 10th out of Lincoln, Nebraska to come in here, and he's a good ball player. Also pitches for the Trojans. He'll lead it first. 1 on, 2 down, the pitch. Hit him. That's the second time they've hit McLaren. Gavin, I think the same spot.
McLaren hit by a pitch again and brings up number 7.
Goes on
Zane
down
Parker.
to second base. Hit by a pitch
Number 2,
twice.
Carter Hadley courtesy running.
He's going to have a welt there because the same place. He's going to come in and be run for. I think Hadley will run for him at first. Jensen will trot down to second. Atlantic has 2 on and 2 down here in the third. Rams up 8-0. Here's Aiden Parker, struck out his first time up. Miles Stanton eyes the glove of Corbin Pelzer. Here's the pitch, curveball. There goes the runner. Throw to third, not in time. Gets out of the outfield. Here comes Jensen. He's going to score standing up. Now the throw to third, and it is in time. They got Hadley trying to stretch it to third. And the inning comes to an end, but Atlantic will get a run. As Cale Jensen will score from second. And the Trojans get a run across. 8-1 Rams. We go the fourth. We're back. Why does this?
At Outfitters Plus in Atlantic, you'll find all the latest in custom apparel and headwear. Head to Outfitters and work with the design pros to make your customized tees, team apparel, and personalized swag for your business a reality. Whether it's fan apparel for your high school or youth sports teams, your business, or you just want to make something your own, you'll have everyone saying, "Where'd you get that?" Don't forget, Outfitters will also add your group store online to make ordering a breeze. Get personalized at Outfitters Plus Outlet Store in Atlantic. Stop by today.
Welcome back to Atlantic. We go to the top of the fourth. Rams up 8-0. All 8 coming in the first. Otherwise, Petty is pitching relief has shut him down here in the second, third.
Leading off for the Rams.
And now the fourth inning.
Ben Carlo.
Ben Carlo, the cleanup hitter, will stand in for Glenwood. 8-0 Rams, top of the fourth. Softball down below. Atlantic has taken, I believe, a 3-2 lead there. Fairly close the first time they played. Here's the pitch to Carlo. Missed outside. Count 1-0. Ben Carlo at the plate. It's two RBI single back of the first and reaching a fielder's choice. Right against lefty. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on and ripped down the right side. Base hit. That's going to be extras. Carlo will race to second. Parker will gun the ball into the infield and a stand-up double for Ben Carlo, and he is 2 for 3 tonight.
13.
With
Charlie
a double
Hutchcraft.
here in the fourth inning to lead off the frame for Glenwood. And Charlie Hutchcraft will step in. He hit by a pitch in the first and walked in the second. He scored a run and walked in the second inning, a left-handed batter for Glenwood. 8-0 Rams. They've got a runner at second to lead off the inning. So Hutchcraft will step in for Glenwood with Carlo at second. Grant Petty will set up and fire. That one swung on and fouled straight back as Hutchcraft goes after the first pitch. Hutchcraft, that left-handed hitter at the plate. Hitting 179 coming in. He was 7 of 39 at the plate. Again, he's been on base twice. Both hits by a pitch and walk. 2 freebies. Carlo at second base. Carlo scored back in the first inning after 2 RBI single. He got things going, driving in Pelzer and Ben Christensen. 1 on and nobody down. Here's the pitch, high for ball. 1-2 the count to Hutchcraft. Brendan Anderson's on deck. He's 1 for 2 at that 2 RBI single back in the first. 1-2. Called strike 3 outside edge. Good pitch by Grant Petty. 1 down for Glenwood, and Brennan Anderson will stand in. So Anderson on the right side. When you look at the league, Lewis Central, Harlan, and Creston and Kemper lead the conference. The pitch, that's a strike called. Good pitch to Anderson. Lewis Central 12-4 coming in. Harlan, competitive always. They reloaded here. They're 10-5. Here's the pitch, swung on. Tapper towards the hole, snagged by McLaren. Fires to first, gets the out at first base, and on to third it goes Ben Carlo. Nice job by Hudson McLaren, the third baseman for Atlantic, in a 5-3.
Runner to third, bring up number 10.
Graham Newberry will stand in with 1 on and 2 down. Back to the standings again. LC 12-4, Harlan 10-5, Creston 9-7, Kemper 9-6, Denison Sleswig 7-6, Red Oak 7-5, Shenandoah 6-5, St. Albert 5-8, Claremont 4-5, Glenwood 2-11, Atlantic 1-9. That's how she stacks up on the Hawkeye 10. 1 on, 2 down. There's the pitch fouled straight back to Newberry. Walk both times, scored in the first inning. RBI doubled by Pierce Dalton, sent him home. 8-1 Rams. We're in the top of the fourth. The pitch, fastball low and away. Count 1 ball and a strike to Newberry, and then Pierce Dalton on deck. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI double, as I mentioned. At third base, Newberry. Here's the pitch, swung on a chopper, third base side, goes foul. An inning for Glenwood. They just opened things up. The first 8 hitters all scoring. They scored 8 runs on 6 hits. 1 Atlantic error. They left a pair, but they had the bases loaded twice in that frame. 13 hitters went to the plate in that inning. Swing and a miss, and Petty strikes out Newberry to end the inning. So he's done a good job. As after that big first inning, Glenwood has not scored a run. Atlantic with that run in the third. They go to bat here in the bottom of the fourth, still have some work to do. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. Glenwood with an 8-1 lead. We're back right after these.
Looking for the ultimate place to host your party? It's time to roll into the Super Bowl on Highway 71 in Atlantic, the place to celebrate birthdays, family nights, or even date nights. Glow Bowling lights up your Friday and Saturday nights. We've got bumpers and ramps for the kiddos, and plenty of lanes for the grown-ups' bragging rights. Whether you're here to compete or just kick back and relax, the Super Bowl is where memories are made. Call Dan at 243-4656 to book your party today. The Super Bowl in Atlantic. Let the good times roll.
Gas prices got you down? Need a ride to work or the grocery store? There's public transportation for everyone in Southwest Iowa. SWITA offers taxi service in Atlantic, Glenwood, Harlan, Missouri Valley, Red Oak, and Shenandoah. $2.50 each way, or $2 for seniors 60 years and older. Just call 1-800-842-8065 or visit swita.com to schedule your ride.
Zayden Parker will stand in for Atlantic to lead off the bottom half of the fourth. Trojans down 8-1. They did get one across in the third inning. Cale Jensen scoring. He has the only 2 hits for Atlantic. It's 2 for 2 and a run scored. Here's Parker, struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch, tapper foul. Count 0-1 to the junior, then Terrell and Petty to bat for the Trojans here in the bottom half of the fourth. 8-1 the count. Glenwood with the lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch by Miles Stan. He's gone the way. There's a rip to center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit and more. Parker will round first base. He gets the green light. He's going to race to second. He's going to stand up with a double. The Trojans get started off right here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Zayden Parker with a stand-up double. And the Trojans have one on here in the top bottom half of the fourth. As Parker rips one into right center field. And here comes Sawyer Terrell with one on and nobody down. Parker hitting .242 with his 9th hit of the season, his second 2-bagger for the Trojans. And here is Terrell at the plate. The pitch, swung on, a rip down the left side, base hit. Here comes Parker round third. Up, he came to a stop. He stumbled there and he had to go back. And Terrell goes on to second base with the double. So back-to-back 2-baggers. Parker would have scored, but he tripped up there at third. But now 2-1 and nobody down here in the fourth inning, and here comes Grant Petty.
Double by Terrell brings up
First base is open, Atlantic threatening. They're down 8-1 with the bottom half of the fourth. Petty at the plate. Here's the pitch on the way by Stanton. That's a strike call. Grant Petty has had a solid season hitting the baseball. He's hitting .286. 6 of 21, 2 RBIs, got a couple of ducks on the pond here. Struck out his first time up. That ball gets away. Here comes Parker sliding in for home. He's safe. Ball gets away in the throw. They're going to throw to third base. Here's the tag, and they got him. Terrell overran third. Atlantic does get a run across, and they tag Terrell out. But Parker scores with a pass ball.
Runners tagged out in third, but
Terrell thrown out.
Petty's still at the plate.
Petty at the plate. The count is 0-1. Second time Atlantic's been caught on the base pass being aggressive, but you got to like the aggressiveness. 1-1 the count to Petty. Atlantic gets another run across. It's 8-2. Rams with the lead. All 8 coming in the first inning. The Trojans scored a run in the third. Now a run in this frame. Nobody on, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Petty swing and a miss. 1-2. Wicked curve by Stanton. Keston Smith on deck for the Trojans here in the fourth. 8-2. Rams with the lead. 8 runs and 7 hits. Atlantic 2 runs, 2 hits. Here's the pitch, high for a ball, even at 2-2 to Petty with Keston Smith on deck for Atlantic. Grant hitting just shy of 300, 348 on base percentage, 476 slugging. Here's the pitch, Petty swung on and fights off an outside pitch. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes, turned into a very pleasant evening here in Atlantic. Steamy one setting up here this afternoon, but it didn't bother Fletcher Toft at all. He wasn't sweating at all. Hot shot to second base, slowed up by the grass, scooped up by Newberry. Go to first to Carlo for a routine play. 2 down for Atlantic. Keston Smith will stand in. Nice 4-3 play. Atlantic 1 run here in the inning. 8-2. Rams with the lead. We're in the bottom half of the fourth.
At bat, number 20,
Keston Schmidt will step in, the third baseman. He ground out in that second. Nobody on and 2 down. 8-2 Rams. Schmidt, the 7th hitter in the Trojan lineup. And Miles Stand now the stretch, kicks, fires outside for a ball. Count is 1-0. So again, and we talked about those power teams, and it's kind of the same thing we see every year with LC and Harlan. Creston also having a good start. Rip deep left center. Back goes Williamson, and he dropped the ball. Rounding first is Muller, and he's going to stand up with a double. Whoa.
Double by Schmidt.
Schmidt with a double.
Jack Muller.
And now Jack Muller will stand in. That ball was ripped. And Williamson made a good effort to try to run it down and just couldn't quite haul it in. And a double for Keston Smith. The Trojans have 1 on and 2 down. And the batter coming up. So the Trojans now a runner at second base, 8-2. The score. Oh, excuse me, I got a little punchy here. I hit the commercial. We're hanging there, folks. There we go. I'm sorry about that. Hit the commercial and got a little excited there on that hit. So we're back here again, I think. I don't know. That pitch is low in the dirt. Keep your eye on the screen. We're going to reset this thing a little bit here, so I'll be just a moment of getting back on. We'll keep it on our live video, though. 2 balls and no strikes. We have a runner at second base. 8-2 is the score. Here's the pitch. Fastball's a strike. 2 balls and a strike. The Trojans get a run across here in the frame. Runner at second base. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. The count goes to 2 balls and to 2 strikes. The Trojans trying to scratch and claw their way back in this thing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Jack Muller trying to stay alive for the Trojans. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here in the bottom half of the fourth. 8-2 is the score. And the stretch. Miles Stanton, runner at second base. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. No, they call that a strike 3. Strike 3 called, and that'll be it.
8-2.
We're through 4 innings. 8-2. The lead is Glenwood. We're back right after this at 95.7 FM.
Stein delivers more new genetics faster. Our focus on delivering higher yielding genetics faster than the competition is why we have released more new Enlist E3 lines in the past 5 years than any other seed company. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. 45 years of yield. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Get ready for a fresh start at Greg Young Atlantic. Our Greg Young Fresh Start program helps you hit the road with confidence, overcome credit challenges with personalized financing, and a wide selection of great vehicles. Visit us today to find your brand new Chevy, GMC, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram, or check out our huge pre-owned selection at GregYoungAtlantic.com and GregYoungCDJRAtlantic.com. And to apply. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Here at Greg Young, we go the extra mile for you. With a new or used vehicle purchase, oil changes,
Number eight,
peace of mind. That's how Greg Young celebrates 25 years. Visit GregYoungAtlantic.com today.
Greg Young, we go the extra mile for you.
Limits apply. See dealer for details.
Welcome back to Glenwood. I think we're getting back on the air here. Thank you very much. We go to the top of the fifth. It's an 8-2 game. And the lead is Glenwood, but Atlantic is scratching their clawing, trying to get back in this thing. Here's the pitch coming in, swinging and a miss. Top of the fifth. Rams scored all 8 in the first. Atlantic has played a run in the third, a run in the fourth. Pierce Dalton is the batter. Here's the pitch outside for a ball. 2-1 the count. Thanks for your patience. Just had to reset a few things once in a while. It's technology. 2-1 pitch. There's a ground ball up the middle. That may get through, and it does. A bullet by Pierce Dalton right up the middle.
Base hit by Dalton brings up number 11, Miles Stanton.
So Miles Stanton will stand in, 1 on and nobody down here at the top of the fifth inning. Rams up 8-2. They scored 8 runs and 6 hits in the first. And they picked up a stand-up double to the fourth inning. That's been about it. Petty's pitched pretty well for Atlantic. 8 runs and 7 hits for the Rams. 2 runs and 4 hits for the Trojans. There's a bunt. Beauty down the first base side. Run down and thrown out at first base. But a sacrifice by Miles Stanton. And he'll send Pierce Dalton to second base.
Bring up number 4.
So Corbin Pelzer will step in for Glenwood here at the top of the fifth. 8-2. Rams with the lead with Pierce Dalton at second. And the pitch coming high and in. Count is 1-0. New pitcher for Atlantic, and I believe it's Tristan Hayes, but we're going to pick that up here in a moment. 1 ball and no strikes. Petty pitched a nice 3 or 4 innings. He came in the first. That pitch is strike. Count is 1-1. A runner at second base is Pierce Dalton. He had the single to win on the sacrifice to second. The pitch. Swung on. A hot shot down the third baseline is foul. Pelzer, the leadoff man, singled back in the first inning. He singled the same inning again with an RBI and flew out to center. 1 ball and 2 strikes here in the top of the fifth. Pelzer, leadoff batter at the plate, a righty against righty. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here it is. Swung on right up the middle. Knocked down. They'll throw to first base and get the out. There's 2 down. Boy, nice job by Tristan Hayes. That was a hot shot right back at him. He knocked it down and had the wherewithal to scoop it up and fire it over to first for the out. 8-2 game. Here's the pitch coming way outside for a ball. Count 1-0 to Ben Christensen. Walked. Fielder's choice. Walked to the third. Runner third. Count 1-0. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a tapper to second base. Gobbled up, fire to first, gets the out. Well, not bad inning for the Trojans defensively. Dalton led off with a single, then a sac bunt for an out. Pilser grounds out, then a 4-3. We're through 4.5. Glenwood 8, Atlantic 2, and coming to bat in the bottom half of this fifth inning. We'll see what the Trojans can do at the plate as they continue to grind away here on their home field in Atlantic.
At Oak Point Wealth Management, we're embracing new changes to better serve you. As an independent wealth manager, I'm excited to partner with LPL Financial, bringing you comprehensive tools and resources backed by personalized service and dynamic technology. My focus remains on helping you achieve your financial goals with integrity and care. Visit oakpointwealth.com or call me, Erin Friend, at 712-207-3521 to learn more.
Visit www.oakpointwealth.com, 712-207-3521 to learn more about how Oak Point Wealth Management can help you pursue your financial goals.
Atlantic Ag and Auto, your locally owned CarQuest Auto Parts store, is seeking help to fill a part-time or possibly full-time position. While experience in retail parts is preferred, it is not a deal breaker. The ideal candidate should have entry-level computer skills and be comfortable working with the public and having some fun while doing it. If you have excellent customer service skills, a valid driver's license, and a history of reliability, we would like to hear from you. Atlantic Ag and Auto is an equal opportunity employer located at 716 West 7th Street here in Atlantic.
Part of Meredith Communications, KS 95.7.
Brock Goodrich will lead off for the Trojans here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Rams up 8-2. And the pitch is on the way. Strike inside edge. Miles Stanton has started the game for the Rams, and he's still in there here in the bottom half of number 5. He allowed 2 runs and 4 hits. Fastball misses low and away. Brock Goodrich batting here in the fifth inning for the Trojans. Here's the 1-2 pitch by Miles Stanton on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 in the tag. Stanton strikes out.
At bat for the Trojans, number 40, Hudson McLaren.
So Hudson McLaren, the leadoff hitter, will stand in. Another strikeout for Miles Stanton. Hudson, third trip to the plate. He's 0 for 2 at the deep fly ball to center. And here's the pitch on the way. Fastball's a strike. No one won the count to Hudson. Fly ball to center. He struck out in the third inning. Well, he made good contact. He set that deep. Here's the pitch to McLaren. Swung on and fouled straight back. Stanton works ahead. 0-2 with nobody on him. 1 out, 8-2. Glenwood with the lead. Cale Jensen on deck for the Trojans. He's 2 for 2 and scored a run. 0-2 pitch, swung on, popped up. Shallow right, first baseman Ben Carlo going back, can't make the play. So Hudson will be safe at first base. That was a tough play over there.
Is on an error, brings up number 11.
So an error is what we're going to call it there. The Trojans have 1 on and 1 out here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. And Cale Jensen, the center fielder, will step in. Jensen had the single in the first, singled and scored in the third. Right-handed batter. Hudson McLaren, the runner at first base with 1 out. 8-2 Rams with a lead. We're in the bottom half of the fifth. Stanton has pitched the whole game for Glenwood. Here it is. There's a pop-up foul straight back. Softball game. Looks like Atlantic with 4 runs. And they lead 4-2 in a tight one there, if I can see that correctly. That's getting towards the end of the game as well. Throw back to first, 3-2. Thank you, Fletcher. 3-2 Atlantic with a 1-run lead. They're late in the game. 8-2 here. Rams with a lead. Atlantic has 1 on and 1 out. Stan goes to work. Here's the pitch, high and in. Cale Jensen the plate. Hudson McLaren, the runner at first. Brock Goodrich struck out to lead off the inning. Here's the pitch coming in. Fastball, the outside edge, a strike, 1-2. Cale laid off of that one. That wasn't quite what he wanted to hit here. We'll see if Stan comes back with another curveball. 1-2, they got the runner a pickle. They'll throw down to second and slide by Hudson McLaren. He slid on the tag. So Hudson, I speculated to Pickle, but that wasn't the case. He had a huge lead. They threw to first. He just took off for second. Showed good speed. The throw down to second was about chest high, and Hudson slid underneath it. So he's safe at second. In scoring position now for Cale Jensen. 1 ball and 2 strikes, just 1 out. Atlantic has a chance to maybe grind home another run. Curveball high and in, 2-2 of the count. Here in the bottom half of the 5th. Trojans 2 runs and 4 hits. Glenwood 8 runs and 7. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and hit the left to foul ball. So Jensen back to the plate. Rams 2-11. They came off a win last night over Sioux City West. They beat Atlantic 7-6 in 8 innings on May 29th. That was quite a game. In fact, we had the broadcast. Ben Carlo had the RBI. Curve high and in, 3-2 the count. Stan will probably come back with a fastball, something on the edge here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 on and 1 out. 8-2 Rams. The pitch. High and in. Ball 4. And Jensen draws the walk.
Jensen walks, brings up number 13, Gavin McLaren.
Atlantic started off 8-0 in the hole. And they've hung in here, just trying to scratch some runs across. Don't appear to be out of it. They've got a long way to go, but they've got 2 on and 1 out here. They're a big inning away from making this thing interesting. Here's Gav McLaren, hit by a pitch twice. Taps that one down the first baseline, foul. Count 0-1 to Gavin. Trojans batting 9 and 1-2 and out 3 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 8-2 Rams with a lead. McLaren at second. Cale Jensen at first. Jensen 2 for 2 with a walk. Gavin at the plate for Atlantic here in the bottom half of number 5. Gavin, a right-handed batter for the Trojans. South Dakota State University bound to play football in 2026. 0-1 to the junior, low and away. Count 1-1. He verbally committed to them, a D1 program. He'll be a jackrabbit. He's still got a senior year left to go. I can't wait to see what he can do here his senior year. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and lifted foul out of play down the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gavin McLaren. Right-handed batting catcher for the Trojans. Runners at first and second for Atlantic here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Miles Stan has pitched the whole way. Works the stretch. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got Gavin to chase an outside pitch. 2 down for the Rams.
At bat for the Trojans, number 7, Zayden Parker.
Zayden Park will step in. He ripped a double his last time up and scored on Smith's RBI double. 2 on, 2 down now for Atlantic. 8-2 Rams in the bottom half of the 5th. Stretch Stanton. Pitch. Swung on and fouled against the net. Count 0-1. Parker, right-handed batter. Hitting .242 coming in. And he ripped his second double of the season. His 9th hit of the season, his last time up. 1 for 2. He struck out his first time. Pitch way outside. The count. 2 balls and a strike to Parker with the runners at first and second. Hudson at second. Hudson McLaren at second base. Cale Jensen at first. Stand in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a hot shot down the third base line. Base hit. That's going to score. Hudson McLaren. Here he comes. Jensen races to third base. He'll stand up there and on to second base. And the throw goes Parker. Another rip by Parker and an RBI in Atlantic. Plays their 3rd run of the game. They're down 8-3 here in the bottom half of the 5th.
5, Sawyer Terrell.
So Parker with the double and RBI. McLaren scores from second. And Jensen is standing at third base. So Parker's come alive with back-to-back doubles. 2 on, 2 down, 1 in for the Trojans, 8-3. Miles Stan throwing for Glenwood. At third base, Jensen. Second base, Parker. 8-3 ball game. Here's the pitch. Strike outside corner. Sawyer Terrell at the plate for Atlantic, ground out and doubled. Trojans 3 runs and 4 hits now. Here's the pitch coming in, outside for a ball. 2-1 the count. Trojans were down 8-0 going to bat in the bottom half of the first inning. And they're still battling with 3 runs on 4 hits. Still battling here in the bottom half of the 5th. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball is low for a ball, just missed. 3-1, a hitter's count for Sawyer Terrell with Grant Petty. Nope, it's Tristan Hayes, on deck for Atlantic. Here's a 3-1 offering inside, ball 4. Bases loaded for the Trojans. Boy, do they have a chance here. 8-3 Rams. So the batter for the Trojans will be Tristan Hayes. Batting for Petty's, pitching down for Atlantic.
Tristan Hayes a bat.
And out to talk to his pitcher is the catcher, Corbin Pelzer. Eight 3 ball game. The Rams 8 runs and 7 hits. Atlantic 3 runs and 4. They've got the bases loaded for Tristan Hayes. Hayes, the senior, hitting .067. He's 1 for 15. We can see if he can rip one here and get the Trojans back in this thing. They're down by 5 runs. The pitch to Hayes, outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Miles' stand has gone the distance. Yet to see any movement from the coaching staff as far as hesitation. 1-0. Ground ball up the middle. That's a slow roller. Scooped up with a shortstop. They'll throw it to first base. They get the out. No, they don't. He's safe. Now we've got a run down at third. A run down at third base. And the throw at home, and they get the tag. Gavin got run down. There's Aiden Parker, run down at third.
Runners tagged out at home.
And that'll be it for the Trojans, but they played it a couple. We go to the top of the 6th. It's 8-4, Rams with the lead. And they get the Trojans in a rundown as Aiden Parker caught between home and third base. We'll be back right after these at 95.7 FM and our live video stream, WesternIowaToday.com.
Hey there, this is Tanner from your Atlantic Hy-Vee, and I've got some exciting news to share. Thanks to your feedback, we're currently rated the friendliest Hy-Vee in the entire company. That's a huge honor, and on behalf of the whole team, thank you to everyone who's taken time to share their thoughts. Did you know you can leave feedback too? Just check the link on the bottom of your Hy-Vee receipt or in your email after a purchase. Whether it's a compliment or constructive criticism, I love reading our surveys and making sure we're always improving. And as always, thank you for shopping your Atlantic Hy-Vee.
When you're on the go, it's all about convenience. At Fantastic Food, Beverages, plus BP Superior Fuels, and you have Olson's BP in Atlantic. From sunup to sundown, we're the keep-you-going store. From our loaded breakfast burritos and Bunker Dunker donuts to our delicious Champs Chicken and Pizza to go, we have the food you crave. Don't forget the cold beer in the beer cave. Stop in and fill her up. There's always something you need at Olson's BP, the keep-you-going store, 2nd and Locust in Atlantic.
Top of the 6th inning, and it's an 8-4 Ram lead. They scored all 8 in the first, have been scoreless since. Atlantic on their third pitcher here, Tristan Hayes. Here's the delivery inside for a ball to Ryan Turner, the senior. Turner fielder's choice, single and struck out. He's 1 for 3. 8-4 game, the pitch way outside. 2-0 the count. Tristan Hayes pitching relief of Petty. Petty pitched the first, second, third, fourth innings, and Hayes came in the 5th. The pitch, swing and a miss. 2-1 the count. Trojans have a deep staff. Hayes one of them. And you're going to need that many pitchers when you have the pitch count as it is here in high school baseball. 2-1 outside, 3-1 the count to Ryan Turner, then Ben Carlo and Charlie Hutchcraft, the meat of this Glenwood order. Glenwood 8 runs here in the ball game on 8 hits. That pitch is low and in. So Turner draws the walk. He's aboard.
Turner walks, brings up number 1, Ben Carlo.
Ben Carlo will step in. 2 for 3, a single and a double. 8 hits for the Rams here in the ball game. All 8 runs in the first inning. 1 on. Nobody down, top of the 6th, 8-4. A lot of cheering going on in the softball game. We'll see how that pays out. There's a fly ball deep right side. That may be playable. Not quite as Pierce Dalton racing in from the outfield to try to get it. Oh, 1 the count to Ben Carlo. Turner at first. The righty Tristan Hayes delivers. Swung on up the middle, base hit. On to second, Turner. He'll put the skids on there. Cale Jensen gets it in. 9th hit for the Rams.
Base hit by Carlo.
And for Carlo, that's his 3rd hit. 2 singles, a double, and 2 RBI for Ben Carlo, the sophomore. Charlie Hutchcraft will stand in. 2-1 and nobody down for Glenwood. 8-4 lead here at the top of the 6th inning. Hutchcraft, a left-handed batter. Brennan Anderson on deck for the Rams. The pitch. Curveball low and in. Boy, that one bent good for Tristan Hayes, the senior. Trojans trying to get back in. They've scored 4 runs. They've just kind of scattered their runs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Hutchcraft went for one way outside, and the count is 1-1. Runners at first and second for the Rams. Second base is Turner, at first base Carlo, on the stretch Hayes. Here's the 1-1 pitch coming in to bunt, right straight back by Hutchcraft. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hutchcraft hit by a pitch back in the first inning. He walked and was left at third in the second. Caught looking in the fourth. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hayes in the hill for Atlantic. Turner leads at second. Carlo at first. Here's the pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Beautiful curve by Hayes. That one fell out of bed. Hutchcraft just kind of had a half swing on that one. That handcuffed Mr. Hutchcraft. Anderson, the batter. 2 RBI single in the first. Struck out and ground out. 2-1, 1 out. 8-4 Rams, top of the 6th. The pitch, curveball high and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Sun setting off to the west. Tuesday back to softball. We'll have the Clarinda at Atlantic, and then we'll have baseball a week from tonight right back here. Fastball swung on and missed. So 2 next week. Trojans will play Mount Pleasant tomorrow night. Mount Pleasant going to the College World Series, and they'll stop here and get a game in. Swing and a miss, 1-2. It's a nice non-conference game. A team from out east will stop by. They did that last year, I believe, unless they were rained out. 1-2 pitch. Time was called before the toss. So the count remains 1-2 with 2 on and 1 out. Ryan Turner at second, Ben Carlo at first. 8 runs, 8 hits for the Rams. Here's the 1-2 offering coming in. Curve didn't go. High and in 2-2. Graham Newberry on deck. A couple of walks and a strikeout for Newberry. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Outside for ball. 3-2. 2 on and 1 out is Hayes. Ready to load the bases here. We'll see if we can get one across here. The senior goes into the stretch. Here's the pitch on the way. A beauty, and it's popped up. Yeah, not sure where this one is, but it's out of play. It went over, okay. 3 balls and 2 strikes. All I could do is pray, and I couldn't see it, Fletcher. Nobody was yelling, though. 3-2 the count, 2 on and 1 out. Here's the pitch by Hayes. Hit him. Bases loaded. Turner goes on to third. Ben Carlo to second, and Anderson hit by a pitch goes to first. Now they're going to check this. Looked like it hit his elbow. So the home plate umpire is going to go out and check on this. He gave him the signal that it hit him, but it was on his elbow, is what I saw anyway. I have a hunch they're going to, nope, they're going to give it to him. I was going to say, a hunch they're going to bring him back to plate, but not the case. They load the bases. So Turner goes to third, Carlo is second, and Anderson will go to first, hit by a pitch. Graham Newberry will step in for the Rams here in the top of the 6th. 8-4 Ram lead. The first time they've threatened since that 8-run, 13-batter first inning. Bases are loaded. Turner at third, Carlo at second. Anderson at first. Hayes on the hill, fires high, ball one. Newberry, the 7th hitter in the Glenwood lineup. Pierce Dalton on deck, the 8th hitter, and then Miles Stanton, the 9th hitter. Hayes trying to get out of a jam. Here's the 1-0 offering. Fastball low, 2-0. Coach Schelling's going to go out and talk to his guy here. So we'll have a timeout. Rams scored 8 runs on 6 hits in that first inning. They sent 13 to the plate, led 8-1. But then the Trojans just kind of scratched and clawed their way back. Never gave in. They scored a run in the 3rd. Cale Jensen had a single and scored. Trojans played another run in the 4th inning when Zayden Parker had a double and scored on Cashin Smith's RBI double. And then they played 1 run in the 5th. Hudson McLaren reached on an error and scored on Zayden Parker's RBI double. 8-4 ball game. Hayes will stay in. 8-4 the score. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way. Low for ball 3. So the Trojans scored a run in the 3rd, a run in the 4th, and 2 in the 5th. Jensen, who had walked, had scored. Here's the 3-0, ball 4. That'll walk in a run. 9-4.
Brings in a run. We'll bring up number 8.
And Newberry drew the walk. And the Rams scored their first run since the 1st. Here's Pierce Dalton. He had an RBI double to back in the 1st, flew out to right in the 2nd. Singled in the 4th inning, is 2 for 3 with an RBI, bases loaded. Carlo at 3rd, Anderson at 2nd, Newberry at 1st. Tristan Hayes on the hill for Atlantic. 9-4 Rams. Top of the 6th inning. Hayes in the stretch. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's a strike. 1-1 the count. Nice pitch by Hayes. Right down Broadway at the knees, though, and Dalton wanted nothing to do with it. Miles Stanton is on deck for Glenwood. 1-1 pitch outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike to Dalton. Turner walked, scored. Carlo singled. He's at 3rd. Hutchcraft struck out. Anderson hit by a pitch, and Newberry walked. 2-1, swung on, pop fly right side. Moeller coming over and makes the catch in foul territory. Good job of the junior first baseman, Moeller. That's a big out.
And then took 2 outs. We'll bring up number
2 down.
11, Miles Stanton.
Miles Stanton at the plate. Every bag occupied by Glenwood and Carlo at 3rd. Anderson at 2nd. Newberry at 1st. Here's Miles Stanton, the pitcher, the 9th hitter in the Glenwood lineup. 9-4 Rams were the top of the 6th. In the stretch, Tristan Hayes. Here's the pitch way outside, or inside I should say, and went behind Stanton. 1-0 the count. McLaren did a great job of saving that. He had to get way out of his stance against the right-handed batter, went behind number 11 here. 1-0 pitch in the dirt. 2-0 the count. Bases loaded, 9-4 Rams. Top of the 6th inning. On the hill for Atlantic, Tristan Hayes. Stretch. 2-0 pitch. Strike called outside corner. Beauty by Tristan Hayes. Curveball working some. It's a wicked one when he can get it across. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. The count 2-2. Hayes coming back after falling behind 2-0. Bases loaded, 2 down. A big pitch for the Hayes, the senior. Stand at the plate for the Rams. There's a pitch inside for a ball. 3-2 the count. Tristan just needs to throw a strike here and see if Stan can put it in play and Atlantic can get the out. Or Rams fans want to see him get a base hit. Here's the pitch coming. Swing and a miss. Hayes gets the strikeout. And the Rams were threatening the entire inning and only 1 run to show for it. And we go the bottom half of the 6th. Glenwood with an 8-4 lead. We're back right after these at 95.7 FM on our live video stream, Western Iowa Today.
At Seed Pros, our mission is to be your business partner every day of every season.
Pioneer Hybrid International was founded in Iowa back in 1926 and is still American today. Not many other seed providers can make that claim.
We partner with you to continually push the limits by combining elite seed genetics, local infield knowledge, along with customer service second to none.
We are with you from the word go. Contact Mark Van Tiger, Gary Dinkla, Nick Knudsen, or John Becker to partner with a team that puts your business needs first.
At Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We've been dedicated to our communities for over 35 years. From real estate and ag loans to personal and commercial banking, we offer a full range of financial services tailored to meet your needs. We believe in giving back and being involved in the communities we serve. Stop into one of our 12 convenient locations or visit us at rollinghillsbank.com.
KSWI Atlantic, a proud part of Meredith Communications. KS 95.7.
And welcome back to Atlantic as we go the bottom half of the sixth inning. And Glenwood with an 8-4 lead. Ben Carlo will be throwing for the Rams here in the bottom half of number 6, the first baseman. And going over to first will be Ryan Turner.
For the Grams.
So Turner goes from third to first to Carlo
For the Trojans, number 20,
on the hill.
Schmidt.
Newberry goes from second to third. And we'll try to pick up the second baseman here. So big switch for the Rams. 9-4, the score. Rams with the lead. Schmidt at the plate for the Trojans. 7-8-9 to bat here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Rams with the 9 runs, 8 hits. We'll check that in a moment. I think they've got 9. That pitch is high. A strike is called, I should say. Schmidt, 2 ground out of the second. He had a double and drove in a run in the fourth inning. Here's the pitch to Schmidt. Swing and a miss 0-2. And Carlo off to a good start. Jumps out ahead, no balls and 2 strikes, 9-4. The lead for the Rams. Carlo, a left-hander. The 0-2 pitch to Keston Schmidt is called strike 3. A beauty, man. Right there on the inside edge, he whizzed it by Keston Schmidt. Here comes Jack Muller. Left-handed batter against the left-handed thrower, Ben Carlo.
Up to the plate, number 10, Jack Muller.
So Muller was the right-handed batter, I should say. Throws left. Bats right. No down, 1 out for Atlantic in the bottom of the sixth inning. 9-4 Rams. Ben Carlo kicks, delivers, curveball, a strike, a beauty. He came in on the outside edge with that one. 0-1 the count to Jack Muller. Struck out his first time up. 0-1 pitch, inside for ball. 1-1 the count. So Muller, right-handed batter at the plate for the Trojans. Here in the bottom half of the sixth. Trojans down 9-4. Spotting the Rams 8 runs in that first inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball just missed low and away to Muller. Muller will stand back in. Jack hitting 083 coming in. A couple of singles so far this season. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count to the junior. Nobody on, 1 out for Atlantic. Schmidt caught looking. Jack Muller trying to get things going for Atlantic in the sixth. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carlo. He comes in looking sharp here in this sixth inning. And
at bat, number 8, Brock Goodrich.
Brock Goodrich will step in for Atlantic in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Or bottom half of the sixth inning. Ninth hitter of the lineup, I should say. That pitch is a strike outside edge. Boy, Carlo has been just on fire since he came in. He struck out Schmidt looking and then got Muller swinging. Goodrich at the plate. Here's the pitch. Fastball low and away. The count 1-1. Then back to the top of the order. Hudson McLaren has been on base one time. He had that deep fly ball to center. 1-1 pitch. Curve outside. Carlos had a couple of nice curveballs. That one not even close. The count is 2 balls and a strike. Softball game over. We don't know the result there. Maybe we'll get a visit from Coach Hinsman. Here's a 2-1 pitch coming way outside. Now 3-1 the count. Brock Goodrich hanging in there. 2 down for the Trojans. Bottom half of the sixth inning, down 9-4. Ben Carlo, the first baseman, now pitching. Here's a 3-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, foul back. 3-2 the count. to Brock Goodrich. Ritter hit in the third. He ground out. Goodrich struck out of the fifth. Second, 3-2 the count here in the bottom half of the sixth. Nobody on, 2 down for Atlantic. Here's the pitch on the way. Curveball. Cold strike 3. It got it across. He just kept firing away with a curve. He struck out the side. And it's a 9-4 Ram lead as we head to the top of the seventh. Glenwood coming to bat. We're back right after these.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business, from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
First Windy Bank is the longest standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Windy Bank, the only bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
Corbin Pelzer leads off for Glenwood here at the top of the seventh. A 9-4 Ram lead. Pelzer right-handed batter. Kristen Hayes, third pitcher for Atlantic on the hill. Here's the pitch on the way. Way outside for a ball. Pelzer, the leadoff hitter, will bat for the fifth time. His fifth plate appearance for the Rams. He had back-to-back singles and RBI in that first inning. Flew out to center in the third and ground out in the fifth. Hayes fires the ball outside, 2-0. So 1, 2, and 3 to bat for the Rams here in the top of the seventh inning. Trying to get the softball score here, and Fletcher Toff thinks Rams won that 5-3. We'll get that verified. Pitch a strike, count 2-1. Corbin Pelzer, Ben Christensen, then Ryan Turner. Here's a 2-1 pitch by Hayes. That's a strike called a beauty by Trist on the outside edge, the senior. Now evens the count at 2-2 to Corbin Pelzer. Here's the 2-2 offering on the way. Missed low and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Corbin, a junior. Then Ben Christensen, the freshman. 5-3 the final. Glenwood with the win over there. Thank you, Bryce, the PA man for the Trojans. 3-2, 3-2 pitch high and in. Ball 4. Rams had their leadoff hitter aboard here in the top of the seventh inning. So Ben Christensen will step in, and
Ben Christensen.
9-4 Rams were the top of the seventh. Corbin Pelzer with that base on balls. Hitting 290 coming in.
Max Kohler.
And he drew the walk. Max Kohler will bat for the Rams for Christensen here on the top of the seventh. 100, nobody down. Christensen went 0 for, or checked. Oh, there's a throw to first, gets away. And on to second base, the courtesy runner, Max Kohler running. And he goes on to second. Christensen the batter for the Rams. So an error on the Trojans. Runner at second with nobody down here at the top of the seventh. 9-4 Rams. Ben Christensen, the freshman at the plate. Here's the pitch coming. There's a strike. 0-1 the count. Ben walked in the first, fielder's choice in that same inning. Walked in the third and ground out in the fifth. He came in with a .474 batting average. Tops of the Hawkeye 10. Fastball to strike. 0-2. The senior thrower for Atlantic works ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Kohler running at second base with a lead. Nobody down for the Rams. Here's the pitch coming. Curveball swung on and a looper to right field, base hit. Kohler will round third base, and he'll leg it home. A 10-4 Rams. Stand-up double for Christensen. He actually slid, but he didn't have to.
Double by Christensen. The score is Kohler.
And he gets the RBI, driving home Kohler. So Ben Christensen continues to strike the ball. hitting .474, and he just stroked his first two-bagger of the season. He had 18 hits coming in, 18 of 38, and he had a .474 batting average, as I mentioned, top in the Hawkeye 10. He just picked up his 19th hit, this one a double. 10-4 Rams. We're in the 7th. Hayes on the hill in the stretch. Here's the pitch coming, swing and a miss to Turner. Ryan Turner, fielder's choice, scored the first inning. He singled in the same inning, struck out in the third, and walked in the 6th. 10-4 Rams. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside for a ball. Ben Christensen, the runner at second base, with the RBI double. Tristan Hayes goes to work out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped up. That's going to be fouled out of play. And leaving the count of 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Turner. Rod-headed batter for Glenwood. And Turner coming in. Rod-headed hitter again. One of the leading hitters for his team. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Curveball strike. What a beauty. Turner knew it too. He called third strike. That thing dropped in right in the well, and Turner didn't even hesitate. He headed towards first base. Beautiful pitch by Tristan. Runner at second base, 10-4 Rams, 1 on and 1 out. Top of the 7th, Carlo, the batter. He is 3 for 4. What a night he's had. 2 singles, a double, and 2 RBI. 1 on and 1 out for the Rams. They lead 10-4 with the top of the 7th. Ryan Turner hitting .342, was struck out that time. There's a rip to left in the gap, left field. Rounding second, Ben Christensen, he's going to score. RBI double for Ben Carlo. What a nice he's had at the plate. Carlo with his 4th hit, he's 4 for 5.
Brings up number 13.
2 runs across for the Rams here in the 7th inning, 11-4. Rams with the lead. We're going to have now Carlo's going to run for himself. He's fine. Hutchcraft, the batter, left-handed hitter, maybe. Yep, it's Hutchcraft. His 5th appearance, hit by a pitch, walked, struck out. Hayes pitch, strike, good pitch on the inside edge. 1 on, 1 out, 2 win, 11-4 Rams, top of the 7th. Glenwood girls win 5-3. Curveball swing and a miss. Great pitch by Hayes. What a pitch by Hayes. You get that curveball going, you can't hit it. 1 on at second. That pitch is high for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hutchcraft. And then Brendan Anderson on deck. He had a 2 RBI single back of an 8-run first inning. 11-4 Rams for the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Hit him. So Hutchcraft hit by a pitch. We'll go to first.
Brings up number 2,
Brendan Anderson will step in. Rod-headed batter. 11-4 Rams for the top of the 7th. 2 on and 1 out. And 2 in. Pelzer and Christensen both scoring. Pelzer led off with a walk. Christensen, the freshman, had that RBI double scoring him. And Ben Carlo, an RBI double scoring Christensen.
Anderson hit by a pitch.
And Anderson hit by a pitch.
Graham Newberry.
Now the bases are loaded. Carlo to third, Hutchcraft to second. Anderson hit by a pitch at first base. The batter is Newberry, and I believe we're going to have a pitching change maybe. Coach Schelling walking out to talk to his pitcher. And as he does, we're going to take a timeout. We're back in a minute on 95.7 FM, our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com.
When it's time to think about... Have you ever heard the saying, people spend their life building wealth and neglecting their health, only to wish they could trade their wealth for better health at the end? This is Dr. Fritz Beyer, and it has now been over 30 years since my first chiropractic adjustment. I still get asked, do you get adjusted? Absolutely. I try to get adjusted at least once a month. I'm 47 now and still try to stay as active as ever. While I do get a few more aches and pains than when I was younger, it feels great to be able to step on the mat and help kids learning to wrestle. Chiropractic has helped me feel young enough to do it. If staying active is part of your future plans, call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics.
At 2nd Street Auto, it's our mission to get you back on the road fast. And it all starts with free local towing. Once you're back at the shop, we talk you through your car repair with a free and fair estimate. We do everything in-house so you know who's working on your car. Our Hercules tires come with free road hazard repair, free rotation for the life of the tires, and a free alignment check. And nobody can beat our transmission rebuild and repair experts. Brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, preventative maintenance, and service work make 2nd Street your first stop.
Meeting over, and Hayes still in there, pitching to Graham Newberry. 1 ball and 1 strike to Newberry. Bases are loaded. Ben Carlo at third. Charlie Hutchcraft at second. Brennan Anderson at first base for the Rams. They lead 11-4. Top of the 7th. Here's the pitch coming. Curveball hit him. But maybe it didn't. Ball got away. That's going to score a run, so it did not hit him. Looked like it did. But I'm not the only one that thought that either. So, nonetheless, a run scores, the 12th run in. Anderson goes on to third base. That ball got away from McLaren. And Newberry at the plate with first base open. 2 on and 1 out. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike called. Nice one. 13-4. Rams with a lead. 12-4, I should say. Here's the pitch coming. There's a foul straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 12-4 lead for the Rams. They scored 8 in the first. And they played at 1 in the 6th and now 3 in the 7th. Atlantic with a smattering of runs in the 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. 0-2 pitch on the way, curve high and in. 3-2 the counts. To Graham Newberry with Pierce Dalton on deck. 9:34. This game started right at 7:30 here this evening. 3-2 pitch with 2 on and 1 out. Here it is, high and in, ball 4. Well, the bases loaded again for Glenwood with a walk.
Newberry walks, brings up
So
number 8.
Pierce Dalton will step in. Now Coach Schelling again coming out of the dugout. We're going to have a change here, and we're going to take a timeout. We're back in 2 minutes here at 95.7 FM on our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com.
At Outfitters Plus in Atlantic, you'll find all the latest in custom apparel and headwear. Head to Outfitters and work with the design pros to make your customized tees, team apparel, and personalized swag for your business a reality. Whether it's fan apparel for your high school or youth sports teams, your business, or you just want to make something your own, you'll have everyone saying, "Where'd you get that?" Don't forget, Outfitters will also add your group store online to make ordering a breeze. Get personalized at Outfitters Plus Outlet Store in Atlantic. Stop by today.
Looking for the ultimate place to host your party? It's time to roll into the Super Bowl on Highway 71 in Atlantic, the place to celebrate birthdays, family nights, or even date nights. Glow Bowling lights up your Friday and Saturday nights. We've got bumpers and ramps for the kiddos, and plenty of lanes for the grown-ups' bragging rights. Whether you're here to compete or just kick back and relax, the Super Bowl is where memories are made. Call Dan at 243-4656 to book your party today. The Super Bowl in Atlantic. Let the good times roll.
Gas prices got you down? Need a ride to work or the grocery store? There's public transportation for everyone in Southwest Iowa. SWITA offers taxi service in Atlantic, Glenwood, Harlan, Missouri Valley, Red Oak, and Shenandoah. $2.50 each way, or $2 for seniors 60 years and older. Just call 1-800-842-8065 or visit swita.com to schedule your ride.
Pierce Dalton will stand in. New pitcher for Atlantic. The 4th thrower here for Atlantic tonight. It's going to be Sawyer Terrell, a right-hander. 12-4 Rams were the top of the 7th. Bases loaded, 1 out. Dalton, the 8th hitter in the lineup, will stand in for the 5th time tonight. Facing Sawyer Terrell, pitches high for a ball. 1-0 the count. Dalton had a 1 RBI double in the first inning. Flew to right in the 2nd. Single to the 4th and popped up in the 6th. Pitch is inside, 2-0 as Terrell falls behind. Top of the 7th inning, bases loaded, 1 out. Rams up 12-4. They scored 8 of the 12 in the first inning. That pitch is swung on and missed. Dalton went after a high heater and whipped that one. 2-1 the count. Miles Stanton on deck. Dalton 2 for 4. A single and a double. The pitch, low for a ball. 3-1 the count. RBI doubled back in that 8-run first. He flew out to right in the second. Single the fourth and popped up in the sixth. We're in the top of the seventh, 12-4 Rams. Bases are loaded. Here's the pitch coming high, ball 4. That'll walk home Hutchcraft.
Dalton walks.
An RBI walk for Pierce Dalton.
At bat, number 9 for the Rams.
So here comes Miles Stanton.
Max Kohler.
No, it's Kohler, excuse me. It's Kohler hitting for Stanton. Bases loaded here on the top of the 7th inning. 4 runs scored. 13-4 in favor of Glenwood here in the top of the 7th. So Kohler will pinch hit to here for Stanton, the number 9th hitter to appear in this frame. A 13-4 lead for Glenwood. 8 runs in the first, 1 in the 6th, and 4 here in the top of the 7th. Sawyer Terrell on the hill for the Trojans. This first inning was a marathon with Glenwood sitting 13 at the plate, scoring 8 runs. There's the pitch on the way. He almost hit him. I think it did. So Terrell hits Kohler. He'll go to first.
Kohler's hit by a pitch, brings in a run.
That'll drive home Anderson.
Number 4, Corbin Pelzer.
So an RBI, and Corbin Pelzer, the leadoff batter, will step in. Base is still loaded. Newberry at third. Dalton at second. Stanton is at first. Base is loaded. 14-4 now, the score. 10th batter to appear. Here's the pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Corbin Pelzer's had quite a night. You lead off batter at the plate. Here at the top of the 7th, the 10-run lead, and the pitch out. That's a strike. Getting a little help on that one here. Pelzer the batter. That pitch is inside. They called that a strike. 2-2 the count. Maybe time to keep things rolling here. Here's the pitch, high for a ball, 3-2. Bases loaded, 1 out. 14-4 Rams with a lead, and they've put together another big inning here. Bookend bigs for Glenwood. Terrell sat. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Terrell gets a strikeout. Now there's 2 down.
Pelzer strikes out, brings up number 3, Ben Christensen.
So Ben Christensen will step in. A 474 hitter coming in. He had a double his last time up. Strike call as Terrell finds the groove. Bases are loaded. 2 down. 5 in the frame. Here's the pitch. Swung on, slice foul. 0-2 the count as Terrell works ahead. Newberry at third, Dalton at second, and Miles Stanton at first. Right against lefty here, Ben Christensen at the plate with the bases loaded. The 0-2 pitch coming up. Here it is on the way. Swung on, a ground ball foul. Again, Christensen going with the pitch. 18 singles for Christensen and 1 double here this season. Got that double tonight. He'll step back in with an 0-2 count. Bases loaded for Glenwood, top of the 7th. Here's the wind, the pitch, swung on, foul back. Still 0-2 the count to Christensen. Rams had 6 hits in the first inning. 7, 8, 9. And in this frame, they've got 10, 11. 11 hits for the ball game. 14 runs on 11 hits. Letting 4 runs on 6. The pitch swung on. That one's fouled back. Christensen trying to stay alive. And Terrell throwing strikes. It's an 0-2 count with the bases loaded. Number 11 to bat here in the top of the 7th inning. Terrell out of the stretch with the bases jammed. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung off the handle. Third base side fouls. Christensen with a plethora of foul balls here, trying to stay alive and drive one here in the top of the 7th inning. Atlantic at home again tomorrow night. They'll host Mount Pleasant. Rams won last night. They beat Sioux City West. Picked up their second win. They're 2-11. 0-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled back again. Next broadcast we'll have on Tuesday, Glenwood, Clarinda coming to town with high school softball. Then baseball on Thursday with Shenandoah back here. Pitch low and end, 2-2 the count is Terrell getting tired of throwing pitches to Christensen. Been up there forever. Bases loaded. Here's the 2-2 offering. Swung on. Fly ball left field. That's going to be foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ben. Ryan Turner on deck, and he's at the plate 5 times tonight. A fielder's choice, a single, struck out, walked and struck out. Atlantic started with Hudson McLaren. He was taken out of the first inning, then in came Grant Petty. He pitched pretty well for the Trojans. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swung on. Little blooper to shortstop. Everybody's going to be safe here, and a run scores. Base hit for Christian, his second hit of the night. Now 12 hits.
Mike Christensen brings up number 12
for the
Turner. Base hit also scored a run.
The Rams. Another run scores. 15-4 is the score. 6th run of the inning for the Rams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th run. And Pierce Dalton goes to third. Kohler to second base. Christensen stands at first. Base is still loaded. And Coach Block out talking to the home plate umpire. Christensen stands at first. So at the plate now for the Rams will be Brennan Anderson. As we mentioned, he's going to appear for the 6th time tonight. He's hit by a pitch twice back in the 6th inning and back in the same inning. As Coach Block talking to the home plate umpire here at the top of the 7th inning. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back right after this at 95.7 FM, our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com. Back in 60 seconds.
Stein delivers more new genetics faster. Our focus on delivering higher yielding genetics faster than the competition is why we have released more new Enlist E3 lines in the past 5 years than any other seed company. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. 45 years of yield. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Get ready for a fresh start at Greg Young Atlantic. Our Greg Young Fresh Start program helps you hit the road with confidence, overcome credit challenges with personalized financing, and a wide selection of great vehicles. Visit us today to find your brand new Chevy, GMC, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram. Or check out our huge pre-owned selection at GregYoungAtlantic.com and GregYoungCDJRAtlantic.com. And to apply. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Here at Greg Young, we go the extra mile for you.
At Oak Point Wealth Management, we're embracing new changes to better serve you. As an independent wealth manager, I'm excited to partner with LPL Financial, bringing you comprehensive tools and resources backed by personalized service and dynamic technology. My focus remains on helping you achieve your financial goals with integrity and care. Visit oakpointwealth.com or call me, Erin Friend, at 712-207-3521 to learn more.
Visit www.oakpointwealth.com, 712-207-3521 to learn more about how Oak Point Wealth Management can help you pursue your financial goals.
To the counts, bases are loaded for Glenwood. 15-4 lead. Here's Dalton at third. They've got Stanton at second base. Actually, he's been hit for by Kohler. Here's the pitch coming. There's a foul ball straight back. And Ben Christensen, who has 2 hits tonight, a double and a single. He's at first for the Glenwood Rams. Brennan Anderson, the batter, hit by a pitch twice the last 2 times up. 0-2 the count as Xander tries to get Atlantic out of here. Here's the pitch coming. Curveball high and in, 1-2. So Xander, just a freshman, pitching for the Trojans. Young man's a good athlete, a lot of speed. Did the punting for the football team here this fall. Swing and a miss, and Xander gets a strikeout. And that'll be it.
From the top of the 7th.
Trojans
15-4 Rams.
give up a big inning here. 7 runs come across. It was an 8-4 game, and then the Rams Open up with 7 runs in the frame on 1-2. 3 hits. They leave the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's a 15-4 Ram lead. We're back in 60 seconds.
Atlantic Ag and Auto, your locally owned CarQuest Auto Parts store, is seeking help to fill a part-time or possibly full-time position. While experience in retail parts is preferred, it is not a deal breaker. The ideal candidate should have entry-level computer skills and be comfortable working with the public and having some fun while doing it. If you have excellent customer service skills, a valid driver's license, and a history of reliability, we would like to hear from you. Atlantic Ag and Auto is an equal opportunity employer located at 716 West 7th Street here in Atlantic.
Hey there, this is Tanner from your Atlantic IV, and I've got some exciting news to share. Thanks to your feedback, we're currently rated the friendliest Hy-Vee in the entire company. That's a huge honor, and on behalf of the whole team, thank you to everyone who's taken time to share their thoughts. Did you know you can leave feedback too? Just check the link on the bottom of your Hy-Vee receipt or in your email after a purchase. Whether it's a compliment or constructive criticism, I love reading our surveys and making sure we're always improving. And as always, thank you for shopping your Atlantic Hy-Vee.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Rams up 15-4. They plated 6 runs at that top of this frame. And Miles Stanton, who had pitched solidly, then Ben Carlo took over for him. And now we have another thrower for Glenwood. It's going to be Niall Jensen. Just an 8th grader will toss for the Rams here in the bottom half of the 7th. Hudson McLaren will lead it off for Atlantic here in the bottom half of number 7, down 15-4. Hudson 0 for 3, flew out to deep center, struck out and reached on an error and scored. Fastball outside. Third pitcher for the Rams as they start off with solid start for Miles Stanton, Carlo, and Hudson hit by a pitch.
McLaren hit by a pitch.
So he's aboard here, the bottom half of the 7th. Cale Jensen steps in. He's 2 for 2 with a walk, and he scored a run. 2 for 2 with a walk and scored a run. So runner at first base, and we're going to have a pinch runner here.
Number 21, Draven Smith.
So Draven Smith will run for Hudson McLaren at first base. 15-4 Rams, the Trojan side of the 7th inning. The 8th grader on the hill for Glenwood, Niall Jensen. The right-hander goes in the stretch. Hanson leads at first. Fastball to strike. Count 0-1. They're going to kind of open up that strike zone a little bit, I think, here. They did the top of the 7th, probably here in the bottom half. 15-4. Rams, here's the pitch on the way. There's a strike called. Cale Jensen at the plate. 0-2 the count here in the bottom half of the 7th. Jensen back in the stretch. The 8th grader will fire. Here it is. Curveball high. 1-2, and Jensen hasn't flinched yet here at anything. Righty against righty here. Jensen on the stretch. Hanson leads at first for Atlantic. Here's the 1-2 offering. Swung on a high fly ball. Angling left side. That could go. Nope. Couldn't quite catch up to it. His third baseman Turner. That was almost above the lights. That was hard to pick up. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cale Jensen. Trevin Hanson, the runner at first base for Atlantic. Bottom of the 7th, the Trojans down 15-4. Jensen brings it. Line drive, left field. That's going to be extra. It'll bounce to the fence. Trevin Hanson will go to third base, and Jensen gets a stand-up double here in the bottom half of the 7th. So Cale with his 3rd hit
with a double
of the ball game. He had a single in the first inning, a single and scored in the 3rd, walked and scored in the 5th, and now doubles here in the bottom half of the 7th. And on to 3rd, Trevin Hanson running for Hudson McLaren. So 2-1 and nobody down for Atlantic. Bottom half of the 7th inning, and Gavin McLaren will step in, hit by a pitch, hit by another pitch, and struck out. Jensen out of the stretch for Glenwood. Here's the pitch coming in. Fastball is a strike inside corner. 0-1 the count to Gavin. Trojans 4 runs on his 6 hits here in the ball game. Here's the pitch coming. Hit him. That's the 3rd time Gavin's been hit tonight.
McLaren hit again.
He's going to need an ice bath.
Bring up number
so
7,
Gavin,
Parker.
He was spared in the 5th. He didn't strike out, but he wasn't hit. Bases are loaded for the Trojans here in the bottom of the 7th inning with nobody down. And now Coach goes out to check with his young pitcher here to see what they want to do. Nonetheless, Atlantic has Hudson McLaren at third, Cale Jensen at second, Gab McLaren at first base, and a timeout is called. We'll take it with them. We're back right after these.
When you're on the go, it's all about convenience. Add fantastic food, beverages, plus BP Superior Fuels, and you have Olson's BP in Atlantic. From sunup to sundown, we're the keep-you-going store. From our loaded breakfast burritos and Bunker Dunker donuts to our delicious Champs Chicken and Pizza to go, we have the food you crave. Don't forget the cold beer in the beer cave. Stop in and fill her up. There's always something you need at Olson's BP, the keep-you-going store, 2nd and Locust in Atlantic.
And a double play for the Rams. A run to score for Atlantic.
Number 5, Sawyer Terrell.
So McLaren scores from third. Terrell will step to the plate. But they got Jensen going to third and threw out Parker at first with a double play. So 2 down. And the batter, Sawyer Terrell, with 1 at second base. 15-5. Rams, here's the pitch coming, swing and a miss. So they leave in their 8th grader, the youngster, and he gets that double play as a nifty one. Ground ball tossed to third. Turner stepped in the bag for one force and got the throw over to Carlo at first for the other. Here's the pitch on the way. There goes the runner. Fly ball left field. Back goes Williamson. He's there, makes the grab, and that's it. The Rams back-to-back wins. They beat Sioux City West last night and top Atlantic 15-5 in this one here tonight. We'll wrap things up. We're back in 2 minutes.
Get ready for a fresh start at Greg Young Atlantic. Our Greg Young Fresh Start program helps you hit the road with confidence, overcome credit challenges with personalized financing, and a wide selection of great vehicles. Visit us today to find your brand new Chevy, GMC, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram, or check out our huge pre-owned selection at GregYoungAtlantic.com and GregYoungCDJRAtlantic.com. And to apply. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Here at Greg Young, we go the extra mile for you.
At Seed Pros, our mission is to be your business partner every day of every season.
Pioneer Hybrid International was founded in Iowa back in 1926 and is still American today. Not many other seed providers can make that claim.
We partner with you to continually push the limits by combining elite seed genetics, local infield knowledge, along with customer service second to none.
We are with you from the word go. Contact Mark Van Tiger, Gary Dinkla, Nick Knutson, or John Becker to partner with a team that puts your business needs first.
At Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We've been dedicated to our communities for over 35 years. From real estate and ag loans to personal and commercial banking, we offer a full range of financial services tailored to meet your needs. We believe in giving back and being involved in the communities we serve. Stop into one of our 12 convenient locations or visit us at rollinghillsbank.com.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products.
Glenwood. And for the Trojans, 5 runs on 7 hits. Rams just built too big of a lead early on. They scored 8 runs in the first inning, and they did those 8 runs on 6 hits. Then the Trojans, Grant Petty pitched pretty well in relief, and then the Trojans used a number of pitchers here tonight. The Rams started a big landslide in the 7th. Atlantic had closed the gap to 8-4. But the Rams played a run in the 6th, they made it 9-4, and then they went home 6 runs home in that 7th inning. And they win this one 15-5. Atlantic managed to run across in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Final score 15-5. Our next broadcast Tuesday night we'll have softball. Clarinda comes to town. Pregame at around 7:15. First pitch around 7:30. We'll have the broadcast on 95.7 FM on our live video stream, WesternIowaToday.com. Thanks for joining us from Atlantic. Once again, the final, Glenwood 15, Atlantic 5.